Have you ever wondered if a single day could change the world forever? We think of history as this long, slow-moving river, but sometimes a single 24-hour period can create a tidal wave that alters its course for centuries. Today, we're embarking on a journey through time to pinpoint 10 of these monumental days. These aren't just dates in a textbook. They are the pivots upon which our modern world turns. From the birth of ideas to the fall of empires, get ready to witness history's 10 most important days. Our first stop takes us back to ancient Greece, to 490 BC and the legendary Battle of Marathon. On this day, a small, determined Athenian army faced a massive invading Persian force. Against all odds, the Athenians won a decisive victory. But the day's importance didn't end on the battlefield. A messenger, Pheidippides, supposedly ran 26 miles back to Athens to announce the victory before collapsing. This incredible feat not only saved the burgeoning concept of democracy from being extinguished, but also gave birth to the modern marathon race. It was a day that proved that ideals, defended with courage, could triumph over seemingly insurmountable power. Let's leap forward to the year 476 AD. This marks the day the final Western Roman emperor, a young boy ironically named Romulus Augustulus, was deposed. This event wasn't a single bloody battle, but rather a quiet symbolic end to an era. The fall of Rome plunged Europe into what many call the Dark Ages, but it also planted the seeds for the future. The collapse of centralized power gave rise to new kingdoms, new languages, and eventually the nations of modern Europe. The legacy of Roman law, architecture, and language endured, but this day officially closed the chapter on one of history's greatest empires, setting the stage for a new world to be born from its ashes. Now, imagine a world without books, where knowledge is a rare and precious commodity held by a select few. That was the reality before our next crucial day, sometime around the year 1440. This is the day Johannes Gutenberg perfected his printing press with movable type. Suddenly, ideas could be reproduced quickly and cheaply. The Bible, scientific texts, and philosophical works spread like wildfire across Europe. This invention fueled the Renaissance, sparked the Reformation, and paved the way for the Age of Enlightenment. It was the day information was democratized, empowering ordinary people with knowledge and changing the very way humanity thinks and learns. We arrive in the New World on October 12, 1492. On this day, Christopher Columbus and his crew made landfall in the Americas, believing they had reached Asia. This single event triggered the Columbian Exchange, a massive transfer of plants, animals, cultures, technologies, and tragically, diseases between the Eastern and Western hemispheres. While it led to immense suffering and the downfall of great civilizations, it also connected the world in a way it had never been before. Global trade routes were established, and the world map was redrawn. For better or for worse, this day marked the beginning of our interconnected global age. Let's journey to July 4th, 1776. On this day in Philadelphia, the Second Continental Congress formally adopted the Declaration of Independence. This document did more than just declare a separation from British rule. It boldly proclaimed a revolutionary idea that all men are created equal, with certain unalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This powerful assertion inspired revolutions around the globe and became the foundational promise of a new nation built on the ideals of freedom and self-governance. It was a day that turned a colonial rebellion into a global beacon for liberty. Our next stop is a day of terror and revolution, July 14th, 1789. A furious Parisian mob, fed up with royal tyranny and starvation, stormed the Bastille, a medieval fortress used as a state prison. The fall of the Bastille was a symbolic victory against the monarchy's absolute power. It ignited the French Revolution, a chaotic and violent period that would ultimately topple one of Europe's oldest monarchies and champion the ideals of liberté, Eaglite, fraternit, liberty, equality, fraternity. This day sent shockwaves across the world, challenging the very idea of divine right and inspiring people everywhere to fight for their own rights. Now for a day that plunged the world into darkness. June 28, 1914. In the city of Sarajevo, a Serbian nationalist assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary. This single act of political violence was the spark that ignited the tinderbox of European tensions. A complex web of alliances was triggered, and within weeks, the continent was engulfed in the Great War, later known as World War I. This catastrophic conflict reshaped the global political map, led to the collapse of 4 empires, and set the stage for even greater conflicts to come. It was the day the long 19th century of relative peace ended, and the violent 20th century began. Our next day brought that violence to an atomic level. August 6, 1945. On this day, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima, Japan. 3 days later, another followed on Nagasaki. This horrific event instantly ended World War II, but also ushered in the nuclear age. For the first time in history, humanity possessed the power to annihilate itself. The day created a new kind of global anxiety, shaping the Cold War and international politics for the next half-century. It was a terrifying demonstration of scientific power, forcing the world to confront the profound moral responsibilities that come with it. From the atomic age, we leap into the space age. On July 20th, 1969, hundreds of millions of people around the world gathered around their televisions and radios. They watched and listened as astronaut Neil Armstrong descended from the Apollo 11 lunar module and took his first steps on the moon, declaring it one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. This was more than just a Cold War victory. It was a transcendent moment for the human species. It represented the pinnacle of our curiosity, ingenuity, and our unyielding desire to explore the unknown. It was a day that expanded our horizons beyond our own planet. Finally, we arrive at a day that is less a single date and more a period of time, culminating around 1991. This is the year the World Wide Web was made publicly available. What began as a project to help scientists share information transformed into a global network connecting billions of people. The invention of the Internet has revolutionized communication, commerce, entertainment, and politics in ways we are still struggling to comprehend. It has flattened the world, giving a voice to the voiceless and creating a shared digital consciousness. This ongoing day fundamentally rewired modern society, and its full impact is still unfolding before our very eyes. From marathon to the moon, from the printing press to the internet, these 10 days represent critical turning points in our shared human story. They remind us that history is not just a collection of dusty facts, but a dynamic, traumatic narrative that we are all a part of. What day do you think we missed? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration into the past. We'll see you in the next video.